Hey guys, what's going on? So it is Wednesday, New Comic Book Day, February 15th, and I have here 25 different books, but 17 different titles. So kicking it off, we have God Country, and I picked up both the A and B covers of this one. Really like this one, but this landscape with the various layers looks pretty neat. Really enjoy it, man. It looks phenomenal, actually. So this one, I really consider to be, pretty much the main character is the Thor of Texas, in my opinion. It's been a really, really good read so far. This is only number 2. But, when it finished on the number 1, I really wanted that second, the second issue right there ready to go, like in a trade paperback. It's been an excellent read so far, so I really hope that this series, continues strong. So continuing with God Country, I thought that this was a cover C, and then I found out later on this is actually a reprint of the first issue. However, this second printing is like already going for like $10 or $12 online. I just don't understand that that anomaly that's going on there with God Country. So anyways, next up we have The Rift, and I truly love anything that is time travel related. The first one was just okay. I think I was expecting just a little bit more. The artwork is just really mediocre, in my opinion, maybe a 2.5 out of 5. And the storyline was just kind of so-so. So we'll see how this number 2, where the storyline goes here for the number 2. To see if I actually continue on with number 3. I can't recall if this was a 4 or 6, but 4. So if this number 2 doesn't get it, then I'm not going to continue on with number 3. So next up we have Generation Zero. So I actually picked up both A and B, so I'll be reading through A, enjoy the B a little bit more. So this storyline has been, it was kind of slow for me at the beginning. I actually dropped it, and through recommended consideration, I picked it back up again, and it really picked up the last 2 or 3 issues, and unfortunately it's going to be ending on a 9-issue run. I thought it was going to be ongoing, so a little disappointed that it's going to be ending, but we'll see where the last 2 takes us, if it's going to end with a bang or what's going to happen here. Is someone going to die? I don't know. Alright, so next up we have Trinity. I've really enjoyed this storyline so far. I really like the the top 3 highly known characters here. The storyline has been pretty decent. Of course, there's a couple holes in my opinion in the storyline, but I enjoyed the read so far. So I heard there's going to be a change of, I can't remember if it's going to be the artist or writer, but I'm hoping that it still continues pretty good, or gets even better than what it is now. But I really do enjoy this one so far. See where it goes now. Alright, so next up we have Night Guardians of Relativity by Titan Studios. This is pretty good. So this is like in a future, apocalyptic type of world, sci-fi. And there's some sort of time machine that could, I guess, maybe travel through time. I believe you become immortal. And there's a society that's kind of formed in order to try to protect this device from falling into the wrong hands. So number 1 was pretty good. It's kind of a there's a murder that happens. One of the knights is murdered. So it starts off with a murder mystery. This other group is kind of sent in to see kind of what happened. Let's go investigate. So the storyline started picking up. Pretty good read so far. Next up, I've been waiting for see what happens here, but this is Savage. So this is a pretty good read so far. I highly enjoy the artwork. I'd say this is like a 3.75 out of 5 in my opinion. But the storyline has been pretty good. A lot of action. There's back and forth to try to see. You get the overall story arc of how this main character comes to be. Pretty much born and raised on this island, and his family passes away. There's other humans, there's maybe time travel involved, maybe a portal. So this has been pretty decent so far. Highly enjoy it. All right, so next up we have a recommendation from one of the owners of the one of my local stores I go to, Wildstorm. I thought I recalled so this is kind of like a reboot of a previous team or storyline, maybe, or I'm sorry, it's a previous title is what it was, from Image, maybe. But this artwork was just okay. Looked kind of just mediocre to me, but saw the Predator mech that's involved here, and we'll see where the storyline goes. Wildstorm, see if I pick up number 2 on. Another recommendation, The Forever War by Titan Comics. Same comment. This is just kind of mediocre artwork, but I heard the storyline was pretty decent. So I read everything with open mind, so we'll see where this one takes us, and we'll see if I pick up number 2 or not. Really don't know too much about the storyline. Right, so this storyline has been excellent so far. This is Ether by Matt Kent. So this is number 4. I didn't really think that I would be enjoying this title, but I really did. Storyline is pretty decent, and this the fantasy world, this other world that the main character kind of not time travels, but enters through a portal, back and forth, and he's all about the science side of things. So it's like Mythbusters, trying to look at things from a different perspective in a magical world. So he's kind of like an Indiana Jones, so you have he's the main character, you start picking up other characters along the way. Really enjoy this one. I would recommend this one if you're looking for a different storyline. I think the artwork is excellent as well. Alright, so next up we have The Clone Conspiracy, and to tell you the truth, I picked up this one. I haven't been following the storyline. I picked this one up just really for the cover art, I really love this cover art here. And sorry, I didn't know who Gabriel Delato, probably butchered that guy's name, maybe. But yeah, great cover art there. Alright, so next up we have Batwoman Rebirth number 1. I don't think I will be following the storyline, but I picked up really just to have a number 1, and I think there's only about 2 more rebirths, I think, that are going to be occurring for 2 different characters. So yeah, always interested in getting the number 1s for various more popular characters, but I'm going to read through it, see if I enjoy it. I may pick up the ongoing series if I enjoy this one. Okay, next we have Invincible Iron Man. So I highly enjoy Riri. I really enjoy her storyline of how she becomes a superhero. She's super intelligent. Having Tony Stark, still with her in form of AI. And I think that's awesome, to where he's still around if you enjoyed him. And so I didn't even know Pepper Potts. I didn't know she had her own suit. I didn't really follow Iron Man too often, but and I really like Riri. So I would suggest to pick this one up. If you are or are not an Iron Man fan, if you know anything about Iron Man, I would still suggest to pick this one up, in my opinion. Okay, so next up, I have been waiting for this one. So this is Supersons with John and Damian. So I picked up 2 just to have another number 1, but try to spread the love at 2 different comic stores that I go to. So, when they first met over in Superman, was it like 10, 11, or 9 and 10? Really enjoyed that storyline there, and really look forward to see what type of adventures these 2 guys get into. I really like their each personalities, and would like to see how they kind of continue forward as they. I'm sure they'll fail from time to time, but yeah, looking forward to see how they handle that. Okay, so next up, I was going to discontinue picking up Justice League. However, so I've read through number 14, and to be honest with you, when I read through, I was really sleepy, really tired at the end of the night. Read through it, there's a lot of dialogue, and I don't know if I just skimmed over it a little bit too much, and I put it down to where I read through it, and after I read through it, I put it down, and I didn't really enjoy it, or felt I didn't really enjoy it. I decided to take a reread it just one more time the next night, and I changed my mind on it not number 14 not being a good story or being a good issue, to where after I reread it, I actually changed my mind and I did not discontinue, Justice League. So, we'll see where this newer storyline, this new story arc goes. I'm gonna give it just one more story arc, and I'll see, if I'm gonna continue or not. But yeah, continued on with Justice League to my surprise. Okay, so next up we have Killer Be Killed, and I picked up the first trade, 1 through 4, and I got to number 5 single issue. So I, really love the storyline here. It's nothing what I thought it would be. So I picked up the Walking Dead cover swipe that they did here, so I thought that was pretty cool. So, the storyline was, and let me skip a couple pages, but the storyline was nothing what I thought it would be. I really thought it would be like a gangster mob type of storyline. I didn't really enjoy the art too much, but, there is some supernatural involved, and, I felt the artwork really did fit the storyline. Really supported the storyline pretty well. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting into the series now. So yeah, Killer Be Killed. I would recommend to pick this one up for those of y'all who did not. Okay, so next up we have Monsters Unleashed. And, so this one I enjoy just really for the action. There's not too much storyline in my opinion, but, they did find out in the last one, I think the end of the last one, they found the person they think of who's involved. And I guess you see, what happens here, how they continue forward. And of course, this is also becoming a series. So, this character that they've captured is going to, continue on. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I enjoy the action so far. I guess this one will have a little bit more storyline now that we, started off with a bang. But yeah, so on that same title, I did pick up a cover B, and also found a retailer incentive as well. So I think this one's going for like $12.50 on Midcom. So yeah, pretty cool to have. Okay, and last up we have Batman and TMNT. This is the the Batman animated type of series, and I did find the retailer incentive of this one as well. I really like that cover. But this one here really dives into the original, as you see here, the animated series. You have, almost everyone that's involved in the original animated series, if you're aware of that one. If you're a Batman fan and you've never really seen that original animated series that came out like early 90s, highly suggest to go check that out. And, that was the same Batman that continued on in the Justice League. You could tell he was like a little bit older, but same character, you could tell. So yeah, this storyline's been pretty good, and more for the nostalgic adventure here than the actual storyline itself. But yeah, that's it for this week. Should you like what you see here, please like and subscribe. We'll talk to you later.